Hello and welcome to the Cafe Nightly Show. I'm your host, the Goldsmith. It is the 19th of November, 2024. It happens to be a Tuesday, and it's another big day in the game of Upland. It's another big day in the game of Upland because yesterday we had a bunch of announcements happening all at the same time, one after the other, and today we have another couple announcements that there's not as many. There's not 14, 15, 16 announcements. There's not layers like there was yesterday, but there is a significant amount in these two announcements. There is a decent amount of promise moving forward, and there's a little bit of fulfillment of previous promises. First and foremost, the partnership between XYZ and Upland really starts to take shape. Again, it is more of a, from what we can see now, more of a on-ramp of people coming from XYZ into Upland. This idea of listing a Sparklet as a exchange token or as a redemption token in XYZ, a reward in XYZ, and theoretically allowing people who are already using XYZ as a reward platform to take that reward and apply it into another ecosystem, and that ecosystem happens to be Upland. So it's pretty exciting to get into the details on that, and looking forward to that. And again, this seems to be something that Upland is setting up very much as an on-ramp for new players, which we've talked about for the last several months and really several years as being one of the opportunities for Upland to grow and expand, is to have these partnerships and to effectively use them to bring players into Upland who aren't currently in Upland, and to take those who are in Upland and encourage them to play Upland more based on this partnership, or how it expands play, or ways to get rewarded for being involved in more than one ecosystem. So we'll get into the details on that. It is exciting. It has been coming for a while, and it is going to be something that theoretically brings a whole host of future available opportunities to Upland, to players of Upland, and again, to those who are outside the ecosystem, who are seeing Upland as just one added opportunity to something that they're already working on. And then, of course, we do have one that has been speculated on for years. People have gone so far as to buy gas station properties and stack them up and have 40 gas station properties and cross their fingers. Someday they'll be valuable gas station properties. Maybe, just maybe, those will be linked to charging of our vehicles. We know vehicles are going to be charged using some host in some place in some way. And ultimately, what we learned with vehicle charging starting yesterday is largely that doesn't pan out to be the case, because charging is something that people are able to do with their own properties. They're able to use their own Sparklet. But now there's another opportunity for a Sparklet filling, something that Upland will be doing. We'll get into some of the details. They are scant. They are limited. It is enough to tell us this is a little bit different charging opportunity than people thought there was going to be potentially. This is something that potentially opens up the map more than we currently know it to exist, and is going to create that potential future linkage between travel by vehicle and the entirety of the map, or the map of the real existing United States, potentially the map of the real existing world, tying and linking cities together by these hubs, these charging areas between cities. And we'll get into that as well with limited details, obviously more details to come, but the opportunity to have this greater expanded world using the travel of personal vehicles to get there, because you have that assist along the way to get from one part of the world to another, even though there aren't all the intervening cities yet, at least in the game. And with that, we'll get those two pieces there. There's a lot there. We'll get through them relatively quickly, but we will leave pins in both of them, because there's more to come on both. For tonight, let's get the disclaimer out of the way so we can get into the details. All views and opinions expressed by myself, they're mine and mine alone, should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They represent the game of the team of Upland. Any guest contributors who we do have on, they have their own opinions. They are welcome to them. They should not be taken as game strategy or financial advice. They represent the game of the team of Upland. They represent myself, the Goldsmith, the Cafe, and the show. They, again, obviously, no game strategy, no financial advice there. Trees, it is really good to see. I'm glad you could make it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this announcement. Let's see what it looks like, and let's see how it kind of ties into the fulfillment here of what we knew was going to come here one way or the other, short-term, long-term, mid-term. And here it is, XYZ and Upland. We talked about, I say XYZ, wow, I said it 3 times. XYO, there we go. XYO, also known as Coin with a Coin app, it is something that I was involved in before Upland. This idea of, you know, proximity mining and essentially at one point shared data or shared location for reward along the way. And it is kind of, you know, it was a gamified experience, is a gamified experience, was kind of an early form of um, crypto mining or crypto earning program based on interactions with a site and with you know, differentiated location where you are, you know, as your movement, how it's being tracked. So it is kind of interesting to see this get this partnership come through. And I said XYZ like 3 times because it was said to me earlier and it kind of threw me off. But XYO, we are thrilled to announce the exciting expansion of the partnership between Upland and XYO, bringing even more value and opportunities to the communities. Through all the collaborations, people can use their coin app by XYO and can now redeem their earnings, again, earnings within the coin app, earnings with XYO for Sparklet. So there we go. We know Sparklet is a coin. We know Sparklet does have a crypto value, a value outside the game of Upland. It is a coin. It has a exchangeable value in USD, a exchangeable value into other tokens, but it also has a significant value, a stakeable value in the game of Upland, where it can come and live in its native environment, where it can be used to complete work for building structures. It can be used complete work for charging assets or charging vehicles. And in the future, it can be used to charge planes and used to do theoretically additional things. It has utility in the game of Upland. It will continue to have a utility in the game of Upland. So it is that tie between a crypto token and this utility in a specific place. And that specific place is the metaverse that we have all been part of for years, which again unlocks the unique benefits in the Upland metaverse. Let's take a look. Let's get more details. And again, this is like one of those baby bridges, one of those opportunities to bring people in who aren't that familiar with Upland into Upland. Again, giving them a token and then giving them utility with that token. Let's take a look. We're thrilled to announce the expansion of the partnership between Upland and XYO. More value, new opportunities for our community and to bring community in. Through the collaboration, people who use the coin app by XYO can now redeem their earnings for Upland's Sparklet token, with which unlocks unique opportunities inside the Upland metaverse. To celebrate the partnership and the introduction of Upland Sparklet into the XYO and coin ecosystems, we're launching a special Sparklet airdrop for coin users starting Monday, November the 18th. Oh my gosh, that's yesterday. Coin app users can double their Sparklet rewards in Upland and even triple them by staking. Coin app and Upland building the future together. Maybe I'll check and see if we can find my old coin app account. We'll see. Maybe I can. The coin app, a cornerstone of the XYO ecosystem, continues to innovate by adding new redemption options and partnerships that bring value to its users. The introduction of Sparklet as a redeemable option in the coin app opens the door for coin users to access the vibrant Upland metaverse and even more rewards. Here's the thing. Upland has a number of users who are captive. Upland has had a opportunity to grow for years, and that opportunity is through partnerships. And Upland has started to, you know, test the water with partnerships dating back 3+ years. And those early partnerships with, you know, Spirit Halloween and the NFLPA ultimately were more about, you know, one-way partnerships where you were capitalizing on a brand or capitalizing on a property that was well known and that people could see and say, ooh, that's exciting, and take their own fandom and bring it into the game of Upland. And people who are in Upland, again, could see that and express their fandom. But this is a different opportunity where you can do an activity outside of Upland, be rewarded in an Upland native currency stakeable token that is Sparklet, and then bring that reward into the game. And that is exciting because A, It takes people who aren't part of Upland and it introduces them to the game. It takes people who are part of Upland and also XYO, people who are in both places, and it gives them the opportunity to reward themselves into their specified ecosystem. That specific ecosystem, obviously, being Upland. Let's take a little closer look at this and how this is working. For Upland users, this partnership opens up new avenues to earn and interact with Coin's unique reward system, enriching your metaverse experience. For Coin users, this partnership means exciting new ways to leverage your in-app rewards while engaging with the most dynamic blockchain-based metaverse. Upland. So here's the thing. We had a previous partnership, or Upland had a previous partnership years ago, and that was very small and it wasn't huge, and it was just a part of the ecosystem. It was more like ad space. It was more like using the Brave browser. There it is, the Brave browser. That was the introduction of, and Womplay was one as well for Upland. Where people were engaging in this rewards program, and they could do XYZ. XYO, but they can do XYZ in the game or in the ecosystem and earn OPEX or earn something into Upland. You can earn an asset for engaging in Upland and potentially earn an asset in another ecosystem. Now, it's been something that Upland's done previously. This is a little, if you ask me, this is a little more direct route where you're earning a token. A token has a direct application in the game of Upland, but it is also a direct exchangeable coin, and that being a direct exchangeable coin, a token, cryptocurrency, it is something that has value outside of Upland, has more value inside of Upland, and it is that opportunity to get people involved in the token side, which Upland's definitely been pushing a lot more over the last 5 months since we really got involved, or 6 months since we really got involved with the pre-TGE and then the TGE, the release of the token, of the Upland token of Sparklet on the open ecosystem on exchanges. When that did happen, Upland's been working closely with other ecosystems to get Sparklet out there in a broader way and bring people who aren't in the Upland ecosystem into the Upland ecosystem with that token. Redeem Sparklet directly in the Coin app and take advantage of an exclusive Upland benefit. How to double and triple your Sparklet rewards. Coin app users who redeem Sparklet can double their rewards by bridging their tokens into Upland. Follow the steps to maximize your earnings. Create your Upland account. Upgrade from visitor to Uplander. I've already done both those things. Go figure. Bridge your Sparklet into the Upland app before December the 1st. Stake your Sparklet for even more rewards. Added in partnership with XYO, the unique integration of Upland Sparklet token into the Coin app by XYO makes it easier than ever for users to connect their physical and virtual worlds. Simply redeem Sparklet in the Coin app, and you will be on your way to earning new possibilities inside the game of Upland. Look at that. How to create an Upland account. Look at that. Download Upland's app, available on both mobile and PC at play.upland.me. I am not familiar with that website. Yeah, I guess I am. Sign up, follow the prompts, and create your account and start your Upland journey. How to upgrade from Upland to Upland. Ooh, what is that all about? Get to 10,000 UPX. That's your opportunity. Click the status up your net worth with a combination of UPX and the properties you hold. That's going to be what your overall net worth is. That's how you get to the 10,000 UPX net worth, allowing you to unlock new status in the game. And again, that status of Uplander locks in your interactions in the game of Upland and your ownership of property in the game. Increase your net worth by buying, selling, and trading properties and participating in in-game activities to earn more UPX. Once you have reached the 10,000 UPX, and automatically qualify for Uplander status, granting you more privileges and opportunities within the game of Upland and the Upland metaverse. Again, this is what cements your ownership of properties, of digital assets in the game, is getting to that Uplander status. How to bridge your Sparklet into Upland. Connect your wallet. Ensure that your MetaMask is linked to your Upland account and browser extension is installed. Navigate to the portal in the main menu. Select Bring. Again, this is in the game of Upland. bring Sparklet to Upland, and then you go choose Ethereum. And then you have to select your account, choose the Ethereum holding your Sparklet, and then confirm, and you can move it and bring it in. Select the amount, specify that on the portal. You confirm in MetaMask. Again, this is one of those multi-factor authentications. You do it in one, and then you can do it in the other. And essentially, that is why we have MetaMask. MetaMask is a wallet tied to Upland. It is an outside wallet. That's what we kind of got when Upland went in, kind of put the token out there of Sparklet. Is these other wallets, these other ecosystems that can be tied into Upland. Confirm in your MetaMask. Approve the transaction in the MetaMask pop-up. And once that's done, you are going to be bridged from your outside wallet into the game of Upland. Transaction complete. Your Sparklet will appear in your Upland wallet. Viewable under history in the Upland portal section. Your Sparklet is on its way. The transaction is blank. It's being processed. Once it is executed, your Sparklet balance in Upland will be updated accordingly. So you're going to have to stake your Sparklet to get even more earnings. So again, this is for this XYO limited time partnership. Now that you are in the Sparklet holder in the game of Upland, now that you brought your Sparklet into the game of Upland, staking your Sparklet is easy. What you can do to start Sparklet or to stake Sparklet on what can you stake Sparklet on? Read about the Sparklet utility. Guess what? This sounds really basic to somebody who is experienced in the game of Upland. That's because it's not for somebody who's in the game of Upland. It's for somebody who's coming into the ecosystem of Upland. So the Sparklet utility, you click on here, we get to get more information on that Sparklet utility. This is all the information about Sparklet. This was about the transition of the TGE and coming in and what you do with Sparklet. Upland kind of set this landing concept that once you get into the game of Upland, now you're gonna start integrating and stepping in. You're gonna have this tutorial basis. That's why Upland was working on increasing their tutorial and increasing their new player acquisition and what that experience looks like as far as phase-in is concerned, as far as player development, because they were going to plan to acquire a bunch of players in different ways, and this is one of those programs, just like TGE in general, where you can earn Sparklet in these specific ecosystems by being a member of those ecosystems, by staking in a certain exchange. You can earn a bunch of Sparklet. And again, the incentive to bring it into the game of Upland is there's some rewards for doing so. And that's exactly what we see here. For example, you can use your UPX balance to buy a property and stake on construction. Your UPX balance to buy a property, and then you can stake on the property. There you go. Yes. And you can also stake on somebody else's constructions to help them out. Again, we have different ecosystems in the game of Upland, or different opportunities with layer 2 projects where you can be rewarded for staking your Sparklet on one person's property or another. There are a number of those out there, the UPX Spark Exchange being one of them. There are others out there as well where you can go into a table or go into an app, an outside the game, or a website, and see information about staking other people's properties and then getting rewarded for doing so. Coin app users who stake their bridged and earned Sparklet for 60 days will receive another Sparklet airdrop. Join the Upland and XYO communities today. The partnership between Upland and XYO offers incredible benefits for both communities. Whether you're redeeming Sparklet through the Coin app or exploring the Upland metaverse, there's never been a better time to participate. Redeem your coin for Sparklet in the Coin app. Now, take your first steps into Upland, or take your Upland journey to new heights. Good to see you, WW Dog. Dopest crew. Glad to see you. Glad you can make it again here. Big notes here. This is kind of that starting point again, where we're bringing people into the game of Upland, and they're coming halfway, right? They're coming for Sparklet. They're coming as holders and earners of Sparklet. And then what do I do with the Sparklet? A different place to start than if you had just come into the game and gotten your 4,500 UPX and then applied that 4,500 UPX into property ownership. You're kind of starting halfway, where you have a certain amount, or earning a certain amount, or purchase a certain amount of Sparklet, and then working on what do I do in the game from here. I go and I earn some or get some some UPX, buy some properties. Then I can use the Sparklet, which I might have in abundance. I can use that Sparklet, which I have, to start doing things with those properties. And that is the concept of taking the token that exists outside the game of Upland, taking those people in, and again them starting from square one in the game of Upland to justify staking that Sparklet inside the game, as opposed to leaving it outside of the game indefinitely in cold storage, which isn't going to have the same type of staking rewards as you get for staking in the game of Upland. Dopest Crew, Trees, Dog, good to see you. What's going on? Absolutely good to see you, Dopest Crew, as well. And then another note here. Again, this is the little small announcement that's a bigger announcement than it seems at first. In the coming days, Upland will be releasing a whole string of them. Look at this. They will be releasing a whole string of charging station properties across the Upland map. These properties will be located in cities that are yet to be unlocked. That is new cities. That is places on the map that are currently blank spaces. They're the large expanse of not having any dots in them. And again, this is going to pave the way for expanded driving between longer distances. Areas that currently don't have linkages between train and plane, there's going to have linkages by car. And they're too far away for normally to travel with a charging mechanism, right? You're not going to be able to have a large enough charge in your car to drive 5,000 kilometers. But if you can go to individual places in between the way, 300 kilometers, get a charge, go another 300 kilometers, get a charge, go another 300 kilometers, get a charge. Well, then now I can make it between Louisiana, aka down in the bottom of Louisiana into New Orleans. I could go all the way up to Chicago. I could go from Los Angeles over to New York City. If I have those intervening spaced charging spaces along the way. So that's what we're going to see. That's what is coming. Again, this is something Upland had talked about before, about having these idea that there's a reason to go to these places in between. And at this point, these places don't exist. And in theory, as the game of Upland continues to expand, and in theory, as Upland adds these charging hubs in these areas, that's going to be a reason and incentive for these areas to become cities and to have properties in these cities along the way. And that is ultimately what we're likely to see. Soon, cars will navigate the map with charging stations enabled, again, and determined on your car's level. So the further your travel on your car, essentially the larger the storage in your car for Sparklet, the further you're going to get. If you can go 400 kilometers, you're going to go to a different location than 300. And Upland's going to determine these charging points. Essentially, you have intermediary cutoffs. That is an incentive to have a car that can travel further. You're going to go to less intermediary stops along the way. Upland is going to give us more details because this seems like we're missing some details here. In the coming days, more details are going to come as Upland goes and releases these on the map. So looking forward to the greater details. We don't have all of them at the moment, but again, the Upland charging stations where we could stop our car and we could charge with Sparklet, and then we could continue on. And we're not going to run out of Sparklet along the way and just be stuck in Albuquerque, just be stuck halfway across the map. We're going to actually be able to get the further and further distances. And that's what we are. That's where we are in the game, where we are starting to have an analog of fuel, and that analog of fuel does require stops along the way. You got to stop and charge somewhere, and that's what these charging stops are. And it also helps expand and really look at the interconnectedness of all the cities in the game of Upland and the future of these nodes and hubs and spokes and wheels. That's what we used to talk about with Upland, with spokes and wheels, spokes and hubs, and into these less major cities, but still necessary because they tied all the major cities together. Because in order to have a major tier 1 city, it also makes sense to have, tier 3 cities, and tier 2 and tier 4 cities, and even into tier 5 cities. Well, now we have to have these cities, these locations, just for that charging, which maybe they look like tier 5 cities, maybe they don't. But as of right now, they are new, and we will see more, and we'll learn more about them, and we will see the as yet to be unlocked cities, how those become new opportunities, likely for new properties in the game of Upland. And if you ask me, this kind of is maybe a sneaky peek here, maybe is a little bit of a speculation about concealed intent. But Upland took a bunch of properties that have been sitting open on the market for a long time. They created this new opportunity for locking them, this new function. This is something that was voted on by the community. This is something that Upland had been considering, locking those old properties. Now, because they are going to lock away a lot of those properties been on the market for a while. Now, if we can bring new players in the game, now we have a need for new properties. And these hubs and spokes along the way, these little charging station areas along the way, could also be opportunities for Upland to bring new properties in the game in a limited basis per location. And if they can do that effectively, that is a continued opportunity to have new minting opportunities. A little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, opportunities along the way where we can continue to make minting and competitive minting a large part of the future of Upland, like it had been in the past. For tonight, I don't have much else, but I can tell you that even with those two quick announcements, we can keep looking to see things go. Oh my gosh, there's Dog Romeo. Long time in the coming, long time in the missing. I'm glad that he's back around. We are going to look forward to getting more, getting the details of the scene as they come in, seeing what the future of Upland looks like. Because of these two announcements, again, this is all about setting the stage on bringing new people in the game of Upland and enhancing that utility of Sparklet that Upland's been working so long to build. Sparklet is, has been being built for over 3 years. That idea and concept of Sparklet, being the core, at the core of Upland, and at the core of utility, at the core of stakeable assets, and actually stakeable assets with utility. Now having that utility built out, and again, moving forward, new people coming into the game of Upland are going to have so much more to do with their Sparklet than you or I did years ago. And that, if you ask me, does make it a more dynamic environment, does make it a more dynamic stakeable currency or token, and it does make it more of a holistic environment. We can argue about the difference in the gaming now versus 5 years ago, the difference in what Upland is versus what it has been, but ultimately what it is moving forward is going to be different for those coming to the game than it has been in the past. And I'm kind of excited to see that and how that gets figured out. Sparklet, and of course, Sparklet is that name for the future moving forward, or is that key piece moving forward, bringing new people into the game, and again, tying the ecosystem of Upland to many other outside of it. Thank you so much for being here, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. PT, looking at the day's news and trying to make sense of them, a little bit of context, obviously the news itself, and moving forward, that opportunity to potentially, if you're not familiar with the Upland ecosystem, make just a little more sense. Again, thank you for being here. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. PT. Here on Discord, here on YouTube, and on Twitter as well, and on Tuesdays and Fridays in the Upland Plaza in the game of Upland Layer 1. Thank you so much. Take care. See you tomorrow.